After we whetted our appetite for waterfalls at Silver Falls State Park, where we saw 10 falls on one trail, we make our way northwest to the Columbia River Gorge. The Columbia River Gorge is a canyon of the Columbia River in the Pacific Northwest. Up to 4,000 feet deep, the canyon stretches for over 80 miles as the river runs westward, forming the boundary between the states of Oregon and Washington. Our objective for this visit is to check out the incredible Gorge waterfalls, seek out the beautiful volcanic mountains of the Cascade Range, and take you into the wilderness for a couple of beautiful hikes which we'll share in upcoming videos. We hope you enjoy this adventure in the Columbia River Gorge. Alright, we're standing in between an interstate, so it's a little noisy, but we are at Multnomah Falls. These are the most popular falls in the state of Oregon, the tallest falls in the state, and this place averages about 2 million visitors a year. We came here first, even though it's not really first on the actual tour, coming from Portland heading east on the old scenic Route 30 where you see all the different sites. But we wanted to come here first so that it wouldn't be so crowded. And once we're done from here, we'll start back up at the beginning of the actual trail that we want to take to check out all the falls. So let's go take a look at it. Well, after seeing that beautiful view, we're going to walk up to the bridge and get a little closer and get a little different perspective of it. Well, what'd you think of that?
I thought it looked like Rivendell.
What's
from
that?
Lord of the Rings. It's where the elves lived. That's
Oh,
what it
okay.
reminded me of.
All right, yeah, that was beautiful. We're off to our next spot. So that's the Vista House. It was built as a rest stop observatory for travelers on the old Columbia River Gorge Highway and as a fitting memorial honoring Oregon pioneers, particularly those who made their way down the Columbia River. Let's go take a look at it. That is Samuel Lancaster. He served as the chief engineer in the building of the Columbia River Highway, 1913 to 1915. The observatory is currently closed, but that's what it looks like on the inside. Well, we're back in the car and we're going to head off to our next spot. We're going to climb up Larch Mountain. We're actually not going to climb. We're going to let the car do it for us. It's a 14-mile drive up to a viewpoint called Sherrod Viewpoint. And on a clear day, you can see 5 volcanoes. You can see Hood, St. Helens, Jefferson, Adams, and Rainier. What we're hoping, because it's very foggy, is this will take us up above the fog where we can see the snow-capped mountaintops. So keeping our fingers crossed. We are on the trail to the viewpoint. I think it's pronounced Sherrard, and I think it's about a quarter mile to get there. It's beautiful through here, and I think we've lucked out on the cloud cover and fog. Keeping my fingers crossed we can get a look at these volcanoes up here. This one's going to be hard to see because it is so far away. We're on our way to go check out Latourell Falls. We've made it back down to the Gorge area, so we're back in that overcast foggy area. When we were up at that viewpoint, that heavy cloud down in the valley was where the river is, and yep, that's where we are. So we're wrapped up in clouds, but this is about a 2-mile hike, and I think we get to see some upper and lower falls, so looking forward to seeing it. Well, good morning. If it looks like we changed our clothes, we did. This is day 2, and we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. Our first waterfall today is called Volcanic Falls, and if we continue on that trail beyond those falls, we come to another falls called Fairy Falls, and we're going to check that one out too. So yeah, another beautiful day, and we're ready to get started. This trail has a number of switchbacks, and they're pretty steep.
Yeah.
So you get a little bit of heart pumping coming up this one, but you got a beautiful view of the Columbia River right next to you, so it makes it a very scenic hike. Come across Lemon's Viewpoint. We're going to take a walk out there and look at it. All right, so we're right here. Fairy Falls is there. 4/10 of a mile to get there. So off we go. Well, this was probably our favorite hike so far in the gorge. It's just beautiful to get up to Fairy Falls. It's pretty steep for, a mile, give or take. So definitely I would rate it as moderate. It's not easy, but it's so pretty. You're walking up this narrow canyon. I highly recommend coming up and checking out Fairy Falls.
And don't step on the banana slugs. We've seen so many. I kept looking down, making sure I didn't step on them.
All right, we'll see you at the next falls. As we head back down, this is a good view of the switchbacks that we came up to get here. And there's the beautiful Columbia River. All right, we're at our last falls for our trip down the gorge. This is the Latourell Falls trail. Now, unfortunately, that trail is closed, but we're going to do the upper McCord Creek Falls, and from what we hear, it's beautiful too. So yeah, this is our last one. Enjoy it. We've traveled about 30 feet, and I think we made it. No, that's not it. This area that we're walking through went through a terrible fire back in 2017 called the Eagle Creek Fire. It burned 50,000 acres. So a lot of this area has been closed to the public since then, but has reopened. We're going to wrap up our stay here in the Gorge. A lot of fun, just really beautiful. Enjoyed all the waterfalls, how pretty they are. We were just talking, you know, some of them are really easy to get to off of the old highway. Some of the other ones take a couple miles to get to and a little bit more difficult, but they're also beautiful. And, you know, the thing about waterfalls, they're each so unique. And
There's not an ugly one.
No, there's not an ugly one, and all of them sound wonderful. We're going to wrap this one up. We've got some other things that we're going to do while we're in this area, and we look forward to sharing those with you. We'll talk to you all later. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.